I'm Mary, I'm 60 years old, and I was diagnosed about 18 years ago, so I'm quite a long-serving member of the RA club. Of course, what I didn't know when I was diagnosed was that it's a disease. You think it's a condition, you think it's a wear and tear condition, and you don't realise that it doesn't just affect joints, that it does affect your whole system. I've had very good treatment, I've had terrific treatment, but I am aware that it's with me all the time. It's in your system, it's like a little invader that's going around with you all the time, and it always will. So that's what I didn't know, and that's what I know that other people don't know when they're having to deal with me. I think the thing that you hope people will be aware of is that it's a very unpredictable disease. I get excellent treatment, a lot of the time the disease is very well controlled, but even within that, someone who appears to be perfectly well one day can actually be very different a couple of days later. You can be very sore, you can particularly be extremely tired, and probably very whingy actually. So you just hope that the people that you live with and that you work with and that you see regularly will eventually get the idea that it's not just that you've got dodgy knees or something, that it is something that can just come and surprise you at very short notice, and that you may not always be able to do everything at full tilt all the time. That's the kind of awareness I think that's really most helpful. When you tell people that you've got rheumatoid arthritis, the most common reaction is for them to say, "Oh yes, I know what you mean, my elbow hurts too," or "Wouldn't you like to try a copper bracelet?" or "Have you tried not eating tomatoes?" And it's all very well intentioned, but it does drive you up the wall, because it's a disease. None of those things are relevant. The weather isn't relevant. What you want people to do is just listen a little bit, not necessarily to all my aches and pains, but just to listen to get the idea that you have a condition and it's your business to deal with it, but they can help by just giving you a little bit more time and a little bit more space. I hope that makes sense. And I know it's a very amorphous thing, it's a vague thing, but it is what all RA sufferers need. People just not to hurry you, not to rush you, and not to expect you to be the same every day. When I was diagnosed, I was a professional actor. I'd been an actor for 20 odd years, and I decided that had to stop because the arthritis makes you so aware of every part of your body. It's sometimes as if your skeleton's been plugged into the national grid. You're aware of yourself in a way that isn't helpful if you're trying to turn into somebody else. And a lot of what I was doing was quite physical, so I knew I couldn't do it. I still work in the industry, but not as an actor. You just have to adapt, and you have to decide what your priorities are and go with that. But I suspect that an awful lot of people with rheumatoid arthritis have had to adapt what they do for a living, and it's one of the things that goes with it.